Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle Book Haul for the 2nd of April, as well as a few days before that. Went to a Comic Mart today, which was excellent. It was great chatting with everyone as well. It was just wonderful talking about things like singing and as well as, of course, comic books. But that was actually a really enjoyable day. So this one I got, Origins of Marvel Comics by Stan Lee. Now, I had this years and years ago. I regret getting rid of it. My copy was really bad condition, though. So I really sort of read it so many times it was falling to pieces. This one's much nicer, and it's got like this, obviously the origin of the Fantastic Four, but it also includes like issue 55, which is a real odd one. In many ways, I don't know why they didn't actually include just all the origins. Sort of do it a few other people. Would have been really quite good, but instead they included these other stories. Nothing wrong with them, of course. The Silver Surfer one was a perfectly decent story, but it just seems odd to include that one. Obviously it includes the Silver Surfer, so probably that's the reason why I did. But why not include the Silver Surfer story itself? Would have been more obvious. Of course, you've got the Incredible Hulk there. But the thing is, you notice on the cover, Submariner. Slightly deceptive. There's no origin for the Submariner. We've actually got the story with the Hulk versus Submariner, but no origin. Nothing, unfortunately, reprinting the Marvel Comics issue 1. That would have been really good. But still. Of course, they've got Spider-Man. But they've also got this one, which is a very odd one, Rocked by the Shocker. Very strange collection of stories. The same with Doctor Strange one. Again, another sort of slightly odd story to include, as well as the origin. But really, really nice book. And I'm looking forward to hopefully picking up one day the Son of, as well as the Bring on the Bad Guys. Spirit, I love these ones. Number 23, this is Kitchen Sink. I had quite a few of these when they came out, and they were always great. Absolutely brilliant. I loved always the index or checklist they would always include at the front. See, Silk Satin, Spirit. Brilliant tales. Many other tales as well. Of course, some later work as well. Just, I think, one of the greatest artists. Will Eisner was always a favourite of mine. I just got quite a few of other Spirit ones and Will Eisner's work. Always brilliant. And some more work there. I think it's some ads at the back. Oh, there's a few little ads there. Other comics from Kitchen Sink you can see there. Contract with God. Absolutely superb. Brilliant book. Thunder Agents. This is an odd one. Now, I don't know if this is the last one, but I think it might be. Number 19. A double size, even though it's actually the same size as the number 1 and 2, which seems a bit odd calling it a double size action series one. But no, look at that, the way I did that. No ads, all action. It was all reprints as far as I'm aware. And you've got, obviously, there. And many other. You've got No Man's Story, of course, Dynamo. You've got, is there a matter of transmitters? I'm certain these are reprints. I haven't checked, but that's. This also includes the black and white artwork on the back, which is very odd. I don't know why I just didn't bring it out in black and white. That would have been quite good if they'd done that. This is lovely. £2 I got this one, and I just love these sort of newspaper strip ones. I know it's not as big as probably most American ones, but still, 1936, 5 cents, pay no more. Well, I paid £2, certainly worth £2. It's got some great there, Ella Cinders, and you've also got, look at that, lovely Tarzan there. I love these ones by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Obviously not his artwork, but still absolutely superb. And let's just turn that. Actually, you've got a few ads. You've got an little ad down Rinso. You've also got Little Abner, and you've also got Double Aid Helps Man and Maid. And what other story? You've got Half Pint Harry, and many, many others. I think that's just a lovely little snapshot of 1936 newspaper strips. So there's that. This is an unusual one. Shoka, I love science fiction ones, and this one's Manhunter 2070. And it's, of course, you've got the good old stamp. I loved, they always put it right in the centre, bang! I think they enjoyed doing that. But still, great bit of artwork here. And you can see the story there, Manhunter 2070. I don't know how successful it was. I don't think there were any more stories from Manhunter 2070. There might have been, I don't know. And you see a bit more artwork there. Love this one. Got Thing, Battles, Thunderer, Marvel 2-in-1. I really enjoyed these ones, the Marvel 2-in-1s. Sadly, there's still not that many Epic collections. I really hope they bring out all the Epic collections for those. This one is number 56. Just great artwork as well. It's got Quasar as well inside, and Black Goliath. What a strange, wow. It's got everyone. Why not? Yeah. So that's an absolute great issue. The reason I'm pointing this out is because I've got an Epic collection that's got Thunder in it as well. So this one Great little issue. This one's an old one. Phantom Eagle, number 16. Slightly ripped there, but still. It includes a lot of reprints that were included in Annual that came out in the UK, a World Distributors Annual. But this one, Phantom Eagle, you can see, of course, the contents there. Now, sadly, I think he had about 2 or 3 comics. After that, I don't think there was many. Didn't have a particularly long career, which is a pity. I think I quite like the First World War stories, so it would have been nice if they continued the series a little bit more, but they didn't. So you got the Human Torch one. Now this one apparently I don't think was released at the time. I think it was this one they found in a warehouse that hadn't been printed, but it's still classic. Now the artwork is not obviously as sharp and as wonderful as it's been restored in recent years, but I still really like these ones. It's just great collections. And here's another one that's not particularly brilliantly sharp artwork, but still, The Cargo of Death, Captain America against obviously communists again. Now that's one I think was included in the Annual. Very odd one to include, but still it was a good. Strange when they include those sort of ones in the 90s. They must have got them from this. That's the only thing. However, they didn't include one story that would have been really nice to include. Black Knight, of course, Joe Manili. I love those stories. The artwork is just absolutely first rate, and I hope they bring out an omnibus edition. I know they're bringing out, of course, Fantagraphics are bringing out a Joe Manili one. Hopefully, some Black Knight work will be included in that. This one's not one, Patriot. And I don't know who it's by. No idea. Very strange bit of artwork there. But it does include this story, which is just great. Submariner. And it's got Vengeance. Never had titles quite often back in the Atlas period. It's just odd. And of course, you've always got the Mad Scientist and Crazy Robot, as well as some other things. Just to generally throw Monster from the Lagoon, Blue Lagoon, whatever. However, you got this as well. Look at that. Just classic Silver Surfer, issue 1. I think that's just lovely to see that. I'm going to collect quite a few of these. I've got most of them now, and I think I'm hopefully nearly got most. I haven't got that many collections complete. I've sort of Submariner's one that I've been trying to get, but the prices have gone up recently. I noticed that Submariner's gone up a lot. So I think Red Sonja, unless they bring out a Red Sonja film, so that's it. Of course, the prices will go up, and I won't get those either. But this, hopefully, I will get all of these Red Sonja ones, the Frank Thorne ones. I did have most of them at the time, and I sadly got rid of them. But still, I'm getting them back again. So number 11, this one here, I just think the artwork is just great. I think Frank Thorne's work was just stunning. This one's Wham! Now this one has got, most of the stories are non-Marvel, but it's still got some really great artwork all the way through, all the same. But it does include the Fantastic Four, and a very nice issue with Ramatut. And the thing is I like about it is, one, the panel structure is just really all over the place. They've really gone full on. They messed around with it completely. I'm quite certain that was not how they laid that out. But still, I think the quality of the line work is absolutely brilliant. Still very, very sharp. Just love it. And that's why I like quite a lot of these old issues, these black and white ones. Really worth checking out just to see the artwork, the line work. So much clearer, I think, than obviously when you see them in the comic sometimes, the US comic version. Oh, here's another Red Sonja one. Again, I love the yellow. They use yellow quite a lot. I love that yellow. Of course, with the red hair, that's why I did it. But it's still staggeringly brilliant. There, the Throne of Blood. Of course, they brought out a collection. Dynamite brought out a collection. And it was, I think, one of the worst collections. I got rid of it. I couldn't. I've got the, I think it was called Further Adventures, which they colorised, weirdly, the black and white magazines. Why? But still, they got that. But unfortunately, the coloured versions of these ones, they brought one out there, and it was terrible. It was like, I just couldn't look at it. It was so badly recoloured. I don't know what, or restored, or whatever. It was like terrible. This is just so much better. The only thing that is probably better than this would be the, of course, gallery or artist editions. And there's 3 volumes available. Unfortunately, they're insanely expensive. But you can get them on Kindle Unlimited for free, which is really nice. So I have been looking at them on there. I would love to have had the physical copies, but they are very expensive now. Now, this is one of my favourite stories, actually. Weirdly, it was never printed in this country, in the UK comics. I don't know why. Obviously, it was printed probably in Fantastic and Terrifics, but it wasn't printed in the Mighty World of Marvel / Spider-Man Weekly period. I don't think. Someone will probably correct me on that. Yes, it was. I don't think it was. But still, Doctor Strange, of course. I think that was probably the reason the Doctor Strange. I don't know if that, because they did that. If it included someone like the X-Men, they just didn't seem to include it. I couldn't work that out. Maybe that was the reason, but still, I just love this one. Just great Loki story. Doctor Strange going off there, looking away, and he's of course looking for the hammer. Obviously, the stick at that point, it's gone. This is one of the things always with the Thor stories. He was always having problems with that, and I just thought that was such a limitation of the story. But of course, you've got to have limitations, haven't you, and things like that. This one, I love this epic collection. Fantastic Four, brilliant. This one, and I will be doing a review of this one. Annihilus Revealed, and this includes my first ever Marvel comic. First one I remember getting. I probably got UK and US comics back in the 60s. I know I got Fantastic and Terrific, but I can't remember any particular issue because I've got lots of like Allen class ones and other sort of issues. So this one includes Fantastic Four 132, my first ever, as far as I'm concerned. The artwork is superb in this. It's got some really lovely stories. And I've been reading through this and thinking, wow, that was a great story. And some of these ones I never ever got. So they're actually probably my least known stories. So they're sort of ones that, like this Molman story, don't really particularly know it that well. But I know these ones, because I bought these ones. The Thunderer story, good old Thunderer, as well as, of course, Medusa as well. But it gets all the way through, and this is obviously a Frightful Four. And then we get finally to that was just classic. Love that one. Stranko cover. Absolutely brilliant. Human Torch goes wild. Love picking that one up when it came out. Just brilliant. But this is the one I got. Fantastic 432. Not particularly a super impressive story, but I just absolutely loved it. And I still love picking it up and reading through it. My copy is virtually fallen to pieces. In many ways, probably read this one instead now. So I preserve one from fallen pieces. I always love the bit when they stand in front of the machine. They get the, obviously, I'm not going to spoil it, but Reed Richards, it's just a bit in there. I just think it's just great. But the next issue was great as well. Thunder Day. And you got Happy New Year. I love the snow. I always love that snow scene. I'm not keen on the snow, actually, which is odd that I love scenes in comic books that got lots of snow. And of course, you've got that story there. Warhead, Werewolves, Warhead. Oh, we've got Miracle Man, of course, Annihilus. Many, and that one, brilliant Doc Doom story. Absolute classic Doc Doom story. And many others. As well as, of course, it's got also this on the back. You've got the Giant Size Superstars issue 1, which I've never read. And that's got the Hulk versus the Thing, as well as I think some other characters as well. Now I've also got, and obviously anyone that's not particularly interested in art books probably be turning off at this point, but these books, which I think are just great. John Piper, 1903 to 1992. Love the artwork in these books. Not only that, quite a lot of these artists you don't normally find big books about them. So lots and lots of information. You probably never find out about them otherwise. So this is just beautiful. And I've got quite a few of those. Like this one, Tom Wood. Again, absolute beautiful artwork all the way through this sort of book. Just great collection. This is from the Portland Gallery. Just Aesthetica, one of my favourite magazines. You can pick this up in W.H. Smith's. I love picking this up. Now I've got another channel where I do Photoshop and Affinity Photo and various other tutorials. I love artwork, I love drawing, I love design, and it's just, this book is just an inspiration. Even though I must admit it's always depressing when I flick through it and there's some really beautiful artwork and designs and photographs and everything, very unusual. They always mention like exhibitions. Either the exhibition's quite often finished or finishing very soon, or they're like in Uruguay or Chile or Lithuania or something. And you think, I'm not going there. That's just way too far. It's quite often they have this sort of or films. They mention some really obscure films. You think, this one, like Hope Strickland, I'll Be Back, artist. I'm certain people do pick up these sort of things, but I just think, no. It's so obscure and also some of the books and things they mention, you think, whenever I go and look, I think, ooh, that's not. Most art books are quite expensive, and you just look and think, oh. And also I love these ones as well. We've got all of their websites and everything else. Just love checking those out. Mega fan of Jane Austen, and as soon as I saw this listed, though, one of the comments saying about the fact it gets dirty, and that is the trouble with these ones. They do have a tendency to get a bit cloth bound ones. Lovely, feels great, but they do have a tendency to get dirty if you've got fingers that slightly now got all these comics and things. The grubbiness goes transferred quite quickly. But what a beautiful, beautiful cover there, Jane Austen. And it's got lots of, obviously, very, very early works, the mystery and unfinished comedy. Now, all these ones should be, of course, adapted into films and TV series. I suspect maybe not. Leslie Castle, that would be a nice one to have adapted. There are some things like Catherine or The Bower, whatever The Bower means. I've never read these. Lady Susan, I have read, so they got that one as well. So it's a really, really nice book. Penguin Classics, they've got a number of these books, and they are just absolutely beautiful look, but they can get quite dirty, unfortunately. That is a problem. Another catalogue, Sekhart, probably said his name completely wrong, From Life. Again, just full of just beautiful, beautiful illustrations. And again, another one of these Fine Art Society catalogues that I just love. Or Bonham's, post-war and contemporary art featuring. And again, just full of just beautiful artwork all the way through. Just absolutely love this one. Unfortunately, of course, whenever you look at it, it's always a long time ago. You think, oh well. That's I don't know, some of it. This one, December 2022. Scottish painting and sculpture. I know absolutely, well, very little about Scottish thing. I might, when going through it, I might think, oh, I know that artist, or I've heard of that artist. But quite often, they're artists I've never, ever heard of. And some really beautiful artwork all the way through. Lovely pencil drawings there. I don't know who that's by. Samuel John Peplow. RSA, woman in a headscarf. Apparently, doesn't say when it was done. That's very strange. Gives his dates, but it doesn't actually say the date of the work. Very peculiar. However, this one, Art of the Avant-Garde, and that's 1918 to 2021. Again, full of just so much information, tons and tons of information. That looks really weird. That looks a bit something like some of my designs that I've created, weird ones using Liquify and those things in Photoshop. However, I don't think that was, I think it was a bit before Photoshop. Modern Contemporary Art, this one, Donington Priory, and this one is in March 22. For some weird reason, got Mickey Mouse on the back cover there. But again, just full of just, again, beautiful artwork all the way through. And that's one's, who's that by? August John. Who's that by? Arthur Delaney. Oh, that looks great. Oh, some really lovely artwork there. Where was that? Albert Memorial. I should know. The Albert Memorial, that's fairly well known. No. I don't know where though. It doesn't say. Maybe there was other Albert Memorials, it's possible. And also other ones. John Piper. That's terrible, isn't it? Important Irish art. Yes, there's some actually beautiful artwork in here as well. Absolutely, again, I know really little about some of the artists mentioned here. And that's the thing, unfortunately, with artists. There are just so many brilliant artists that you can... I mean, look at that. It's just stunning. Don't ask me what it's about, but let's just read. It's got here, The Wilderness of Forenza Cosotto. Okay, and it gives a lot of great detail about it. I'm certain if I read about that, I could understand what on earth that's all going on about. But it is beautiful, all the same. And it's got lots and lots of great sections all the way through this. And this sort of thing here, Clifton County, Galway. Oh, I love Galway. I worked in Galway years ago. And it actually, that near enough looks like a scene place. I remember that street. No, it does look similar to that. Maybe not. Just my imagination, maybe. But still, I love these ones as well. Art Quarterly. These are just absolutely beautiful. Again, unfortunately depressing because they're always quite often, and it doesn't say a date, so autumn 2022. So if it mentions any exhibition, that was an excellent exhibition. Winslow Homer, I absolutely love that exhibition. Force of Nature, it was superb. National Gallery, great pages of history. This is sort of, just love this sort of thing. Beautiful, beautiful. And many other little, and again, more exhibitions here that many of them, unfortunately, quite often like Scottish National very tricky to get to. You think, oh, that would be brilliant. Edinburgh. I must just head up to Edinburgh for that exhibition. Or Sainsbury Centre in Norwich. Or this one. Or Birmingham Museum Trust. And so on. Of course, most of them are finished now. So that would be no point whatsoever. I get there and find... No, there is an exhibition, of course, of my favourite one. Dave McKean, my favourite artist of all time, as far as I'm concerned. I just love his work. And that's at Reigate at the moment. Adams Gallery. I am looking forward to go to that at some point. And that one as well, that exhibition, Donatello. That should be brilliant. I think that's at the Royal Academy. I think. Yes, I'm certain it's Royal Academy. And again, listing of all the various things, and quite often you look at these and you think, oh, that's finished 18th of February, 12th of February. Too late for that one. But again, just beautiful artworks all the way through this. Great magazines. Arts Quarterly. This one's Tate, etc. Another brilliant magazine. Again, full of some great stuff. I must rejoin the Tate. I was a member quite a while back, and it's one of those ones that I do enjoy going to lots of these exhibitions. And it was like today, I went past the British Museum, and I was thinking, the only way I'm going to the British Museum from now on, I think, is by selecting a day where it was solid. It was, I couldn't believe how many people were waiting outside to go into the British Museum. The queue was a mile long. It looked like it anyway. Just amazing. Staggering number. I don't know what exhibitions they've got on at the moment. That's always the thing, quite often, if you just look at the list and you think, oh, will I be going to that exhibition or that? And I think there's not particularly anything that's upcoming that I really must go and see. But again, some great ones from the Tate there. This one's odd. Curated collection. Now, to be honest, tapestries and carpets and things, not particularly my thing, but still, I still can be pretty impressed by the amazing work. And they're just staggering. I mean, look, beautiful, absolutely beautiful work all the way through this. So you can see fine examples. So if you're into carpets and someone's can probably turn around and say, that's not X, Y, Z. But curated collection of, I really try and avoid saying people's names because I know I always say them wrong. So I'm not going to say this one's not, but I was really looking forward to this one. I got this one, Christmas at home. I love Christmas. Unfortunately, it's not very Christmassy. It's all about jewellery and things, which I'm not remotely interested in. So, but it's got lots of other things. And chairs, I'm not really remotely interested in ornate chairs. They always look immensely uncomfortable. I don't know why, but who would want to sit in some of those chairs? And this one, a lacquer collection. Again, absolutely beautiful, stunning artwork, but not something I'd rush out and must admit, not my sort of thing particularly, but still appreciate the beauty. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is stunning. 1920, designed in 1920. There's lots of 1920, that sort of thing. A mere 2,500. Yeah, 8,000. That's a lot. That's absolutely beautiful artwork. But all the way through that, that's all those colours. But this final one, and is this going to weighs a ton? And I bought this one at the Comic Mart. Unfortunately, I've actually got 1/3 of it already. I didn't realise. I thought as soon as I saw, oh, that's brilliant. And of course, I suddenly flicked through it later and I thought, all right, that's familiar. And I thought, no, it actually collects let's just say the titles because I'll get it wrong otherwise. It's got it in the front here. It was a collection of the science fiction of the 20th century, horror of the 20th century, and fantasy of the 20th century. I've only got the science fiction one. But it's still, I thought, But it's still an impressive book all the same. A real massive, hefty tome of their thrilling wonder stories, as well as, of course, fantastic adventures, as well as, and let's go into the book of fantasy ones. You've got some great examples, and it's just full of zillions and zillions of covers. This one is just beautiful. You've got the world classics there, the vampire, and of course you've got film posters as well. Dracula there, Peter Cushing. Though weirdly, it doesn't actually seem to have Peter Cushing on. He's got, that's weird, isn't it? Peter Cushing's on thing, but of course Dracula they put there, not Peter Cushing, of course. He obviously didn't sell the poster, but still, the film. Weird Tales, I love those ones. Look at those brilliant, lovely issues. I would love to see a book. There is a Weird Tales book. It was okay, but I would love to see it in this sort of massive quality. And that would be nice. And of course, you've got other Weird Tales ones as well, all the way through every single cover. Because there were just some great covers, Weird Tales. Oh, and that one. One of the books I always regret that I didn't buy, Outsider and Others. Saw a copy of that, and I thought, should I buy it? Should I buy it? It was crazily expensive, and I thought, The shop shut, of course, closed. That was it. They were selling this book, and I think within about a week or something, they were gone. They moved online. The Fantasy Centre. If anyone went to the I love the Fantasy Centre. It was a brilliant shop. Don't think I might have bought many books there, but I did go. I enjoyed going it, and there was also lots of magazines at the back. They had lots of great, all sort of like New Worlds, and I always regret I didn't pick all the New Worlds. I love those ones. the Michael Moorcock, J.G. Ballard, sort of like 1969, 68, that sort of period, when they went into the magazine format. Just brilliant. Ooh, there's me. And Lost Worlds as well. And it's just weighs a ton. This is a big book. You can see it's a hefty book. The Art of the Imagination. And you can imagine that it is a hefty book, because it does feel like a hefty book. And it is a hefty book. I lugged that home and it was weighed me down all the way. By the time I got up the hill, I was thinking, oh, maybe I should not have got it. But still, it was great. So it was a really brilliant Comic Mart, as well as the last couple of days picking up things. I've also got a few other epic collections coming fairly soon. I ordered the Hulk one that's got the Wolverine stories in, Mimic one with Beast as well. I can't remember what issues that was included in the epic collection. Also, I noticed there's also an epic collection, the modern epic collections. And I thought, wow. And I haven't ordered it yet, but I looked at it, I noticed there's the Loki one. So I was thinking, must get that. I love that series, the Journey into Mystery Loki one. But I think some of the others, they got Spider-Gwen, they got a few other ones. I don't know much about that series yet. I don't know when they actually started announce them, but I've noticed a few of them are creeping into the listings. But also, of course, there's still lots and lots of other epic collections I would like to get. There was another book that I should have got, and I always do this. I went into Gosh, and now I'm going to turn around and say it, and everyone else is going by. I go back to Gosh, and I think, oh, it's all gone. The Gosh had copies of the David Bowie Starman book, and apparently it's not in print. Doesn't seem to be in print at the moment. So I don't know what they got. They got copies on sale in the shop. How weird. I think they're signed copies, because he apparently, well, it might not be signed, so don't hold me on that. But I think there's going to be a signing in the next couple of days, I think. Maybe that's why they got copies there. Maybe it's coming out then after that. But I thought, I wish I bought it. I walked away. It's one of those things, I went in the shop, looked at it, thought, oh, this looks great. All 1970s, that Starman period, 1971. Love that music period, David Bowie. And I thought, oh, I've got so much already. With that heavy book as well. I thought, I can't lift anymore. So I thought, I'll leave it. But that looked amazing. That was from Self-Made Publishing. They're great ones. I love those books. But it's, I thought, and ahed about it, and I put it back. And I thought, oh, I should have got that one. But still, hopefully it'll still be there when I pop up to London next. Other than that, I think that covers most of the Comic Mart, and also other books that I've got coming. I don't think there's anything particularly good. I think this month there's an artisan edition. There's the where's the Spirit one? The Spirit one. I think or is it moved? It might be in May now. Quite often I notice the listings suddenly tweak and get moved on, so I'm not really certain. But I think it's the Spirit one is coming out in April, May. So please don't hold me on that. I might be completely wrong on that one. And also a few other books I'm certain that we'll hopefully get at some point. I haven't got any omnibuses on at the moment. I've got that I really, really must get. The only one I probably will be getting will be when it comes out, and that's the June 1963 one, or July 1963, that period. The one that's got, of course, the first Avengers and X-Men, as well as other stories for that month. I'm really looking forward to that. But other collections, the Warlock one was on my list for a while. I've cancelled that at the moment. Still thinking about whether to get it or not. So other than that, that's it for comics. I hope you found this of interest. And also, please put in the comments below, what sort of comics have you been buying recently? Did you go to the Comic Mart? Did you enjoy the Comic Mart? I thought it was it was quite busy. I was quite staggered how busy it was. I was in the cafe at the side, and the queue was quite long, and I thought, wow. And when I got inside, it was pretty busy as well. It was really heaving in comparison with, sometimes you go in there and of course, it always sort of trails off by about 2 or 3 o'clock. You can quite often go in there and it's quite empty. I didn't go back at that time, but sometimes that's a bit better time to go in. But of course, sometimes, someone's bought the comics that you probably want by that time. And that's always the trouble. Yourself, what sort of ones did you think, must get this? Do you ever go away from Comic Marts and things thinking, oh, I wish I bought that? Or do you just generally try and get everything you can get? Because I know it's a bad thing sometimes for me. I do that too often. So anyway, bye.